This time, the Cambodians couldn't take it anymore. They rose up, marching with a corpse in protest against the Han family, father and son. After thousands of Cambodian soldiers died in vain like stray dogs, went missing, and could not be contacted, with no care from the rotten government, they ended up as ghosts haunting the border. Now, as the sounds of battle on the border have quieted down, the cawing of vultures and crows has taken over, feasting on the remains of the countless Cambodian soldiers scattered along the front lines. The stench has drifted all the way to the Thai military bases, making it impossible for the soldiers there to eat. Even though earlier the number of Cambodian casualties had been disclosed, most recently on July 26th by Lieutenant General Mali, Sojiata, spokesperson for the Cambodian Ministry of Defense, stated that 8 civilians had died and only 5 military personnel, which is a stark contrast to the reality shown on social media, where Cambodian families are desperately posting to search for their husbands, siblings, or fathers who are soldiers fighting in this conflict without any help or support from the government. The bodies that have returned were all found by the villagers themselves, without any assistance from the leaders who sent them to satisfy their own ambitions. Nevertheless, according to unofficial reports and information obtained from intercepting Cambodian military radio communications, today there was a head count of Cambodian soldiers involved in this battle, and, after the head count, there was shock because about 6,000 soldiers were found to be missing, especially from the elite Barbecue Special Forces Unit, which lost over 700 men. This closely matches news reports that on the final night, the Cambodians sent 4 companies to storm Takwai Temple, and all 4 companies were completely wiped out by the massive bombs, which matches what was seen and the smell that lingered in the air, and swarms of flies and crows circled the area. In addition, more than 5,000 elite Khmer soldiers from other units were also missing, some of whom likely deserted the army out of fear, and as a result of this, on July 29th, a large number of Cambodians marched in protest against Hun Sen for abandoning the families of missing soldiers, leaving them to fend for themselves without any welfare or support for veterans, and leaving the lifeless bodies of their loved ones abandoned in the forest without any concern. According to posts by Cambodians, the people of Battambang came out to march in protest, to mourn the fallen Khmer soldiers from the conflict with Thailand, even dragging coffins along with them. It's unclear whether these coffins actually contained bodies or were simply made to make the leaders realize the consequences of their actions. Their actions have had a profound impact on the people who have always believed in them. Since May 28, 2025, the Thai-Cambodian border battlefield has shifted from brief skirmishes to a full-scale war. But what set this war apart from typical conflicts was the intense information warfare waged by the Cambodian side, aiming to cover up the one thing that is truly unavoidable in war: death. Only the soldiers died. So why hide it? Why doesn't the government dare to announce the names? Why are there no funerals, no compensation? The answer is very simple. Because admitting to the deaths is the same as admitting defeat in the information war. The reason for lying is to keep the war going. The Cambodian government, under the leadership of Han Mane, wants the people and the troops to believe that their country has the upper hand on the battlefield, that Thai soldiers have suffered greater losses, and that Cambodian soldiers are brave and continue to advance, that death has not yet come for them. But if they were to admit that dozens or even hundreds of soldiers have died, especially from the front lines such as at Preah Vihear, Phu Makeu, or Chong Arnma, that would destroy the morale of the Cambodian soldiers who are fighting without truly knowing that they are being used as tools, no different from human shields. IO, information operations, is not about fake news, but about controlling the perception of the military. Just imagine if the soldiers knew the truth, that the previous unit before them was wiped out, that they didn't even get their bodies returned home, that there was no compensation, no support for their families, and not a single minister has even apologized in front of the cameras. Who would still be willing to march up the hill to fight? Who would still believe that they are fighting for their country? Who would still believe the words of leaders sitting in air-conditioned rooms in Phnom Penh? But they send the children of villagers to die on the front lines. What we get are silent corpses and fake victories. It's the bias of those in power who never release the Thai side's daily press briefings with casualty numbers. They announce the number of wounded and dead and send the soldiers' bodies home with honor. But on the Cambodian side, there isn't even a single official statistic. No documents, no photos, no news. Except for blurry clips claiming that Cambodian soldiers surrounded the temple or planted a flag on the mountain without any verifiable images. This is a victory without corpses but full of deception. When the public starts to lose faith, the information war begins to crumble. Soldiers start to question the villagers. In the border provinces, people begin to disappear, and some soldiers start to think that this is not our war. The collapse of the IO operations did not come from the opposing side, but from the corpses that were hidden away until the cries turned into underground stories, just like the recent protests against Hun Sen by some Cambodians who have become enlightened.
Cambodians have gathered to protest against the Cambodian government because right now they are unable to contact their relatives who are serving as soldiers on the front lines. Some people are saying that Cambodia must come out and tell the truth about what has happened to their family members who went to the front lines. Where have the thousands of them gone? Everyone, the latest news is that there is a strong wave of concern in Cambodia, especially among Cambodian citizens whose children or family members are on the front lines or are officials stationed at the front.
Kì Ôi kìa Đuổi xạ sọp cái vô một plong trâu Đuổi xạ sọp cái vô một plong trâu Đuổi xạ sọp nè ta Bấy mật trường lăng đuổi rôi rôm nè Rôi rôm ta Sôi à Sôi mày Sôi à bông Sôi à Sôi à bông Sôi à bấy mật Sôi à Pina kìa một phong trâu lấy mật xạ sọp đang thay chết xây đây bàn tay buộc cho mơ thức xạ sọp sôi mình tuyên sôi lăng cốt đó ôi sôi nhưng mơ trong đang mơ du tình sôi à mọi người sôi mình tên ôi sôi này sôi lấy mật mơ trường